Hi you guys, this is Wendy coming to you with a project share. This time I thought I would do just a quick flip through of my third flowish journal. And if you haven't already been exposed to these flowish journals, you might take a look at them. There's tons of videos on YouTube. By all means, go check out the inspiration for the flowish journal at your local Barnes & Noble. They have a magazine called Flow, and the intent of the magazine is that you are able to use everything in the magazine. So the magazine is comprised of things like stickers, postcards, tags, posters, calendars, pretty much anything a paper lover is going to want. And with this being the case, it's just really something that most people would want to pick up, only they're very spendy. And so the ladies over at Trashy Junk Journals, which is a Facebook group, came up with the idea of creating your own flowish journal, which is basically sharing your craft supplies, and of course them being mainly recycled craft supplies, and doing so in a way that where things aren't necessarily permanent. The person who receives the flowish journal is able to take pages out completely and use those things for other projects. And so this is the last one that I've created. Let me start with the cover. This is a Trader Joe's cereal box, and I went ahead and painted that, did some stenciling on it. And so that's completely recycled. Here we have a pocket, kind of a sideways pocket, and I've constructed that out of a calendar. And so the recipient can kind of add other items. I didn't add items in here just because I thought things were getting pretty bulky. Here we have a page I've created out of a bag that I got a birthday present in. It's really pretty and reflective, and I thought it might be useful, and it's got this cute little handle. This is an image from a children's book. I've just affixed it with a small amount of washi tape so it can be used easily. We have a map in kind of an unusual color, so I included that. We have some sort of natural images. I like patterns, natural patterns. This came from my local post office. Every once in a while they'll come out with a booklet that shows what the new stamps are. And so they have some pretty cool enlarged images of those stamps. And so this one has Jimi Hendrix and cars, birds. This was a coloring book put out by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Apparently, I had no idea, but they put out a coloring book, and so I liked this image, and I like their little family here. This is from a kid's book. That same coloring book. I'm really big into lace, and so I found this at a thrift store, and it has all these patterns for making these really pretty crocheted doilies, and they're black and white images, so I included that. This is a cute book that is helping ladies get in shape, and so I included that. We have some tissue paper, a book cover. Book covers are kind of nice for the purpose of the flowish journal because you can put some adhesive on either end of the book flap, inside book flap, and make a little pocket. Here I have recycled a file folder. This really pretty image of stained glass. I've included, the next few pages are wallpaper samples. I made some envelopes out of old magazines and I included some little bits and pieces. We have another wallpaper sample. This is some spray ink work that I was doing. More spray ink experiments. This, for instance, is when you buy a 6-pack of soda, if you keep that plastic and you spray inks through it, it has this really cool pattern. I think it's cool anyway. And so I included that. I included this one, which I've said before is a measuring device for pasta servings. Here we have another book cover where I've tucked some black and white images, a mosaic, plans for a house, coloring book. This is some collaging that I started I found a yacht logbook in a bookstore, and of course, you know, I'm not much into, never been on a yacht, but at the same time I thought it was kind of cool as a travel log. Person at the helm, navigator's choice, course, position, time, and you could just use it for journaling. Some more spray ink work, children's book. This was a book about knitting. I have a class grade book, some jelly printing, this kind of fun image, black and white image of a lady here. This came from a day journal where every page has either an illustration of plants or flowers or something like a little excerpt from a poem about flowers. Jelly printing, experiments with jelly printing, scrapbook paper, kids book. We have this cool paint sample, which is actually a tri-fold. Jelly printing. We have some hand post-it notes, and here I have some little tiny bits to use. An annual page. I'm just gonna, I guess, talk less and flip more. Anyway, I've tried to include images that I thought would be useful for someone who does art journaling. Things that are evocative for me and things that I would want to receive. This is a collage page that I had done myself and then color copied. We have an envelope with some goodies. This little pocket is kind of cool. It's got a little shiny glittery tag. You have a piece of butterfly fabric that looks sort of maybe kind of Asian, looks like Asian papers to me. A doily. This is an atlas to the Pacific Northwest. It's got some nice, this is the front cover of it, but I like the paper texture. This came in my dog's bark box this month. We have a coloring book. This image of this lady with these really cool shoes. I like dictionary pages, especially kids' dictionary pages with pictures. I like that it has the alphabet letters up at the very top. I think you could kind of cut that off and make it into your own washi. I like the insides of books. The front matter, I think, is often very pretty paper. There's this cute image of this little girl baking. I included a collage, 8.5 by 11 collage that I had done. How to make good pictures. Again, I like to include book covers, especially if they're kind of ratty, but they're kind of nice to use. We have a very old Sears Roebuck catalog, some shoes. This was again an etiquette book for women on how to dress according to their body style. They have these little kids as puppets or marionettes. Some coloring book pages. My partner said she liked fairies, so I found some vintage images of fairies. I have this vintage image. Sorry, my dog's barking like crazy. We have some ink blots. This was some paper that I used to blot off the paint from the outer cover.